The White Tiger Knight Magpul follower upgrade. I got this for $6.22 on Amazon, and you can upgrade the GI mag, the metal mag, and get a Magpul follower, and it helps a lot. It's a pretty cheap upgrade, and it works really great because the original follower is not great. Here you can see the difference between the original follower and the Magpul follower. The side, there's a much larger leg. This one has a small leg, and that's why it bends. It's in the back and it actually allows it to move to the front. And this piece right here fits the notch of the GI mag and the metal mag here, right around there, the notch. So it fits right in there, and it keeps it from tilting. It's the anti-tilt magazine, and it's great. The Magpul anti-tilt magazine follower, it works really well. This is a spring. You can upgrade the springs. I haven't upgraded my spring, but I think I probably will, and this is a good point to clean and probably lubricate a little bit the inside of the magazine. Clean it out if there's a lot of usage in there. Most people recommend that. I had trouble removing this case here. I actually had to booger it up the edge a little bit. I can probably cover that with some probably some little bit of paint or something, but give me a break. I mean, it's a gun, it's for shooting, so I don't really care if it gets a little bit of scratches on it. I can always paint it later. That's that. This is a quick install showing after you pop it out, you put it on the spring there, and you just go ahead and slide it right in after you pop your old one out. So you make sure the 556 is facing towards the front there. Then you put it in right through. It slides right in pretty easily, actually, almost easier than the other one. Make sure the spring goes in, and then you're going to have to hold it pretty tight to put the bottom cap on. It's pretty easy. A lot of people show this. Make sure the follower's all the way to the end here, and then go ahead and push the spring all the way in, and 556 is towards the front, or towards the front of the gun when you press it. Then you have to hold this down. I found this is kind of a pain holding the spring down. It's kind of troublesome, but you can find a tool or something else to hold it while you slide the other piece in. Mainly the thing holding the cap in is the spring, and you can see it can be a little bit of a pain in the neck whenever, mainly a pain in the more than that, whenever you're trying to slide this on. So it can pop out on you, and it's just troublesome doing it on camera, so eventually I'll just end up popping it in with a tool. And this is the tool that I found that works good. It's metal, but you can just hold the spring down there and slide that guy in. And then once you take pressure off the spring, it slides in fairly well and easily. And then it kind of clicks in place, and then you can pop it out. Now that I've used this one, it's a little better, so I don't think it'll be easier coming in and out, and I can repaint that or if I want, but I'm just going to leave it for now. It's a gun, I'm not worried about it, but I think it looks great. So, as you can see, that's the old one, and that's the new one. I think the color is much better, it's a lot subtler, and it's not as kind of 80s, I guess. And I think it works much greater when you push it in. It doesn't tilt at all. Anti-tilt, it's great. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick disassembly now. It's actually pretty easy once you get a little tool here. This is the easiest way that I've found that you can just fit it in here and kind of twist a bit. It's shown in another video, but this is pretty tough, so as you can see, you kind of have to pull it out. But after you take it out once, it comes out a little easier eventually, and I'll pop it back in there. That's not that much of a problem. I'm sure there's an easier way, and if there is, then let me know. But this is how I'm doing it for now. When you pull the spring out, it's kind of tough. You have to watch out for the little guys, the little handles there that'll grip it. You gotta be kind of gentle with it. Try not to bend it, keep it out of whack. But I think it's pretty solid when it comes out. And as you can see, it's metal spring. I'm planning on upgrading my spring eventually. This is brake-free. This is a cleaning lubricant, so it's kind of a cleaner and a lubricant for it. I use it on a lot of things. It's supposedly military grade. I think it works great. It's on a little cloth already, so you can just brush it on, and if you need to wipe some off later, you can use a dry towel or something, but I think it works well on certain areas. I'm just going to go ahead and lube this guy up and clean it and lube it up on the inside, just so it's nice and slippery in there. I agree with an ample amount of oil and lubricant. And this supposedly this follower is actually Teflon. There's supposedly some kind of a Teflon included, where when it wears, the Teflon will eventually sort of release. It's kind of within the plastic. So as it wears, supposedly it releases, but I don't really bet that much on that, so I'm going to go ahead and just do my own lubing on it, and I'll wipe off the excess if it becomes a little too wet. So yeah, I mean, obviously you can see here the main difference between the two followers, and here, definitely, it's much punier. I'm just going to go ahead and clean off this piece. Hopefully it'll slide in a little easier. This has to slide metal on metal, so I mean, I think a little bit of lube would help it out. And also I'll do the spring in a second, and that will help. I'm showing the spring, just lubing it up a little bit because it will rub against the metal, and getting it in and getting it out will help, and there's probably going to be some buildup after a lot of usage, so that's just my typical way, and then I'll give it a little bit on the the places that are going to ride through there, and I'm planning on upgrading the spring, probably getting a CS spring if anyone knows about that or has any experience. I think they're pretty good, or multiple other types of springs that can help. This is one of the most important things I think about feed issues, some feed issues, and this one actually has an extra little clamp in there to keep it tight with the spring, which works really great. But yeah, I think the spring and the followers are important for feed issues. You can see, just going to clean this place up and lube it a bit, so that's where the rounds are going to run through. I'm going to slide this guy back in and close it back up, wipe off some excess, and I think it'll be ready to go. Load it up with rounds, I can take it to the range. I think it'll run smooth for a while until I have to clean it again. And then I'll do the process all over again, and there'll probably be a lot more buildup from all the round casings and stuff that go through there after I fired quite a few rounds through it. So now it's all in. I got this guy back on here. It's lubed up inside there. It's looking great. Push down on it really easily. I don't see any tilt. I think the Magpul, no tilt. Follower works great, and there's the basic GI metal mag. I think it's a great low-cost way to get a great magazine. As you can see here, the standard issue will tilt a lot towards the front whenever you're pushing down on it. And as I push towards the front here, pretty much the whole thing just slides almost down in the same way. It's really great. I think it works very well. I'm including this because it's part of my installation, but this is a dual magazine holder, and I'm going to go ahead and I popped it on in a little different way, so I'm going to show you how you take it off here. You just go ahead and detach this little screw here within the first plate. Will just which kind of holds the magazines together pretty tightly, will click out, and then you can just go ahead and pop each magazine out. It's pretty easily, and you can actually push the steel in if you want it a little tighter, but I don't want to scratch up so much, so keep it a little loose, but I'll tighten up the screw pretty tight. But anyway, you have to offset them a little bit if you want if you have a dust cover and you want the dust cover to operate. Otherwise you can just leave it open and you don't have to do this, but I think it's effective when you hold it this way and the other way. Once you switch, you switch magazines throughout, it works well, I think, on the right and left side this way, so this is why I leave it offset. This way you can actually hold 60 rounds with two 30-round standard GI mags with Magpul followers for very cheaply. It's a pretty cost-effective and easy way, instead of buying a 60-round drum or something, or a 60-round, surefire 60-round magazine, which I'm really interested in. Unfortunately, those are $100, and this is a lot less. Each one of these parts was about $6 for that, and the followers and the magazines came with the gun, so there you go. Talk about cost basis. I'm going to have a complete review and a complete overall of the build so far. But this is what we have at the White Tiger Knight channel. As you can see, the magazine, and I have an angle foregrip, the AFG2 from Magpul, which I discussed, and I'll go over that in a bit. So this is basically what we have on the build so far. And again, in previous upcoming videos, I will go into more detail about the angle foregrip. That's the Magpul follower, and that's all for now. Plus the light mount.